with Christian cashing in, I'm done with Money in the Bank stipulations. I don't want any other company besides WWE to do them. I think it's a crutch. I think it's stupid. I'm sick of it. So anyway, we get Christian to come in. Was this just a way for Adam Copeland not to lose? Was to have Christian come in and take the L on this deal?
Kinda. That's kind of my vibe too. And this is what I couldn't stop laughing. Like the whole last 5 minutes of the match, I literally could not stop laughing about this. But what I did like was that it bucked a trope in wrestling of the cash in and the fact that it was a complete and utter failure. So I do like that. I do like thumbing the nose at WWE a bit. I would have preferred they not do it, but I also can't argue with your point that it protects Copeland, right? Was the whole thing stupid? Yeah. But the whole thing was going to be stupid anyway. We built around it, so whatever, it's over. Swerve came out at the end.
Yeah, Swerve came out and tried to get the stink off. And I'm gonna pull up a tweet from Airgold, and this is a guy that I've made fun of in the past, but he had a pretty funny tweet, so I'm gonna bring it up. There you go, Adam Holtland. They wanted Adam Holtland to do the JOB, but he said that doesn't work for me, brother. And as we know, he is a big Hulkamania fan. If you remember,
sure is
the old tag team match that they had back in the day. But I wanted to give credit to one Air Gold for tweeting that out. That was pretty funny, and I challenged him to retweet it. So I thought that was pretty good.
pretty good. Can't he doesn't struck me as a selfish guy. I do think it protects him. I do think it helps build into a Christian edge match or Cope match, which I think we all kind of want. I don't know. Like, I do think Cope stepped up in the last month leading into this, but I don't think we ever thought he was going to win the title, right?
No, we never did. So this was their out, and I think here's my theory on it, because I don't think Edge or Adam Copeland, whatever you want to call him, is really like a crazy selfish guy. I think that Tony Khan has a lot of reverence for Copeland.
I agree.
I think he's a huge fan of his. He sees him as an all-time legend, and he feels like he's lucky to have him in his company. And the guy is coming in working his ass off, and he sees him kind of like he saw Sting, and Sting never lost either. I think that's kind of what we're looking at. Is like Tony Khan is treating Copeland like he's Sting, and he only wants to beat him at the right moment. But the fact of the matter is, he ain't beating the rap of not doing jobs, because he's around a lot more than Sting, and Sting was in his 60s. So it is a little bit different. I think that they probably should have just beat old Cope tonight.
I do. I think it's kind of a no. And I thought about this early in this feud. I think it was kind of a no-win situation, because I don't think you want Cope as your champion. I think the Moxley thing has been super cold because they just couldn't figure out. It was like when they first did it, we were both excited because we thought this could be like an NWO thing, and they didn't really commit to it. So it wound up just being a bunch of Moxley turned into like Aleister Black at some point, just rattling off gibberish, that made absolutely no sense. And so you kind of book yourself into a hole with this, because we spent months with Orange Cassidy, didn't go anywhere. It's just there's no good way around this. So all of it is correct. Like, I do think Tony protects legends more so than Vince does. So excuse me, I get the whole thing. It doesn't make for a great main event. That being said, I think we're in a much better place at the end of the pay-per-view than we were at the beginning.
Yeah, because now we get to go to Moxley versus Swerve, which is very likely to headline Dynasty, which is coming up in April, right? Yeah, April. I believe Dynasty's in April.
Here's my thought. I would rather they hold it off. I would rather they push it to Double or Nothing.
Okay.
And let it build. Okay. And let's do something else. We've gone full on WCW here, right? I mentioned before, I really want AEW to be a new WCW. Tonight was the night. It was like, yes, phenomenal undercard, horrible main event for the world title. We are full on 1997 WCW at this point. So let's have a month where Moxley and the title aren't the focus of the show, right? Let's push it to because Double or Nothing is supposed to be one of our biggest pay-per-views of the year. And I do think that's the biggest match they can offer right now is Swerve versus what's his name? Moxley.
Moxley, because it looks like they're very clearly holding off on Omega Okada for All In, which that's what they teased at World's End, and that looks like it's very likely to be a title match.
Good, because we have too many goddamn belts in this company. Let's merge some of them.
Yeah, we definitely do. All right, so the match that I missed, speaking of Omega, and then I'm gonna get to the chat, guys. The chat is blowing up, so guys, hit us with your opinions. Let us know what you thought of the show. What was your favorite match? What was the worst match? And what did you think was the real main event of tonight's AEW Revolution pay-per-view? This is all AEW, the entire show. I got no TNA news, guys. I know some of you guys are here for TNA news. I did Brace for Impact on Friday night. It's out there. It's on Patreon, and I clipped a part of it and put it out yesterday. So it's available for you guys if you want it. But there is one WWE story that I do want to get into. We got to get into it because this is just gonna be too funny because it involves a former AEW superstar. So we'll get into that in a little bit. So yeah, hit me with the chats, and I will get to the chat. So JD, tell me what happened in the Takeshita Omega match because I know that Omega won, but I missed the whole goddamn thing because I had to go get dinner.
Takeshita beat the shit out of him. He kept dropping him on his stomach repeatedly over and over and over again. And then Kenny hit him with the crucifix, rolled him up and pinned him. Like he kind of, the story is Kenny just outsmarted him.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought that was really good booking. Right. First of all, Kenny in great shape. Kenny looks like $1 million right now.
Yeah.
Like, for a dude that diverticulitis, that six-pack is quite impressive at the moment. But yeah, Takeshita has shown just how damn good he is. Kenny's selling was just off the charts. He's so goddamn good. And like they did a couple gnarly like stomach bumps, right? Which is a really smart way for Kenny to work his matches at this point because he had that, legitimately lost part of his intestines. So that's pretty much the story. Was that Takeshita's younger, better, faster, stronger, and doesn't have the diverticulitis problem. But Kenny's a veteran. We've entered the veteran stage of Kenny Omega, where now he's winning matches because he's smarter. Which as an old grappler myself, you get the youngins because you're slicker than them. In my case, they don't see the foot sweep coming. That's what you got to do. So you got to be up. You got to be smart. That was pretty much the story of the match. It was really good. Like I said, it was not different than the typical Kenny Omega because he got a lot of those spots, but just worked a little bit differently. Yeah. It was almost like Kenny was wrestling like the 10 years ago version of himself.
Gotcha. Well, that's one match that I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
Oh, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Dave's gonna give it all the stars.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he will. Omega matches started like 4.5.
It's like to be fair, they do.
Yeah.
That's like
it's like he's got a 4.5 like as he's walking out. It's kind of like some teachers when you start their class they start you off with an A.
Whoa.
Wait, is that what you do?
Kind of. I give the kids a project that is like I give them 200 summative points if they can find 100 images on Google and just save them properly. Yeah. Right. Because the class gets tough. And I'm like, here's a bunch of free points so you can build up a reservoir so you don't drown.
Yeah.
Every fucking semester, there's a bunch of them that just don't do it. And then they're like, why am I failing your class with a 12%? Well, you took a 0 on a 200-point summative project, man.